at the best of times, I am most judgmental of my own work, etc., etc. Like you apply that to this situation. I'm the most judgmental of my own actions, and I think most people are. Like, if you do something, you'll be like, "Oh, it's rubbish. I don't like it," and that's how you react. That's how a lot of people have reacted that I know. Some people might not. Some people might be a bit like feel a bit better about it, a bit more confident. But most times, people have a lot of self-doubt. Anyway, I have self-doubt a lot. Like, that's an understatement. And with this, I didn't take the executive decision at the right time to save my team exactly. If I'd have took that responsibility and understood it, the situation a lot better, it wouldn't have come to that, and it affected a lot of people, and it affected me a hell of a lot because I saw the situation everybody was putting. It should be known so people can like relate to him. So it's, say, for example, a leader. This leader has to be relatable, so it can't be too perfect. It can't be a really amazing hero with super strength, and it can't be a really treacherous villain with amazing super abilities to kill everybody. You know, it has to be something like of norm, but of like elevated presence. So it's kind of like, oh, this is kind of an important person. Yeah. So it has to be tragic hero. Second point, hamartia. So this is a tragic flaw in this character. It can be one of a couple. So here I've got stubbornness, ambition, tyranny, and excess pride. So they have to have a bit of bad with the good. I think mine would be, in my story, it would be kind of ambition and hubris, similar to Oedipus, but not Oedipus. Definitely not Oedipus. It would be ambition. My ambition was too much, and I thought we could fight our way out a bit too much, and sometimes you have to let things lie. So the second part is hamartia. So that is the flaw of the character. Number 3 is, I've already said it really, it's relatability. So it's your hero. It's your hero, that's number 1. Has to be neither exceptionally good or bad. So 1 and 3, kind of were explained, along with number 2, which is the tragic flaw. So, for instance, you have a good leader. One day he goes through the ranks. Then one day he does something that's not really nice, and that unfolds into something bad worse on. But during this time, this leader could save an entire continent. Imagine that. So this guy becomes a leader. He he slaps a kitten, something like that. So he slaps the kitten, and we think nothing of it. Further on down the line, he saves an entire continent. Oh, he's an amazing person. Gets elevated even further to, so we'll say, king. Just say king. And during this king thing, the slap to that kitten comes back. So this, imagine like if this cat belonged to somebody, and it was their only friend, and it was like, oh, but this cat has never done anything bad, and it comes out and everybody hates this person, and they have a slow descent into, fall from grace. That's what it is. It's about, you elevate it to the highest point, so when the fall comes, it's exceedingly tragic. That's what it's called, a tragedy, believe it or not. So yeah, it's about the elevation and stakes in the story. So applying that with the lyrics and the situation all kind of blended. So the story that I'm working on, along with some of my friends, like Thomas Moore, he's helping me write, and in general, like he wants to work with me on it because he's never worked with an animation, but he's worked on films before. I will give a link to his work below. So yeah, you can have a look at his stuff. But we was speaking about if it's already Greek tragedy, why not have it as a myth? So Greek myth. Who could we think of, and what could we think of? I was thinking like it was a journey of responsibility and what had happened before. So it's kind of like a false redemption story. Really, you can't read. I'll get into it. There's a warrior. This warrior has done all that stuff, but you don't know what's happening. So the introduction, like the 3 parts of the story. So you have your introduction, you have your conflict, you have your resolution. So the first part of the story, this warrior wakes up and he's in the boat. He's like, "Whoa, what's going on? What's happened?" And he's looking around, and then he finds out he's in the River Styx. He's being ferried across the River Styx to Hades, or like hell, or whatever we want to call it. It's only loosely based off of Greek myth. It doesn't have to be necessarily that. But the boatman is there, and it's like he's like, "Oh no, I'm here." Like the boatman Sharon, I think his name is Sharon. Anyway, what's happened? And so the lyrics become dialogue in the music video, and they share this dialogue. And then that's when that's the first introduction bit, so we understand who these people are. These characters are, sorry. So then we go into the middle bit, the conflict bit. So we see what's happened for him to end up there. So it goes slight bit Pulp Fiction, and it goes out of order slightly. Dialogue is exchanged again, and we understand more so how this person has got here. Now, this is where we get sucked back into the River Styx and that situation. So it's like, no, and this is kind of like, this kind of builds from the conflict, kind of ends with the resolution, but it kind of merges. So the warrior's like, we'll say a warrior, leader, king, something. He speaks to, he's obviously having this swap with Sharon, and he's just like, "I'm not having this. I was willing to accept what happened to me, but I don't think it's worthy of this." So he tries to get out, and like there's maybe a tussle. Like remember, this isn't like foolproof yet. This is the main notes. It's going to be